We're going to talk about cause and effect and the way that we see cause and effect in stories that we read. So, what are cause and effect? First, we need to understand what cause and effect are. Cause and effect are like a chain reaction. The cause is why something happens, it's the reason or the start of the chain. The effect is what happens because of the cause, it's the result of the end of the chain. Understanding cause and effect helps us make sense of the world and stories around us. If we think about many things that happen around us, from our day-to-day lives to interactions with friends, and a lot of these things actually happen because something else caused them. So what is a cause? Well, it's the reason that something happens, right? There's a reason that you wake up today. The reason that you woke up today might be because your parents woke you up. It might be because you needed to get ready for school. It might be because you had enough sleep and you weren't tired anymore. A cause is the starting point that leads to a specific outcome. Think of it as the why behind an event. For example, because it rained is a cause. You could say, well, the ground is wet because it rained. This cause leads to an effect, such as the ground is wet. The rain is the reason the ground is wet. So, what's an effect? Well, a cause happens first. The effect happens after. In our last example, we said it rained. That was the cause. The effect that happened after it rained was the ground is wet. Let's think about this. If it rains, the ground gets wet. This is the effect. Another example is if you don't water a plant, the cause, the plant will wilt. Wilting is the effect. Effect shows us the consequences of actions or events. Recognizing effects helps us understand why things happen and how events are connected. All right, to help us as readers, we can use signal words to help us find cause and effect in texts. Okay, so because is the first signal word here. Because indicates a reason or a cause. So is another signal word. So indicates a result or effect. Since introduces a reason or explanation. Therefore is another signal word that points to a conclusion or a consequence. As a result is a phrase that can also show the outcome. Consequently is another signal word that indicates a result, or due to specifies the reason for something happening. Often in stories, we'll notice cause and effect in the plots. Plots is a fancy word for the storyline, or the events that happen and how they're connected. Cause and effect can drive the story. It's like a chain reaction. The cause leads to another effect, pushing the story forward. The cause and effect relationships create the plot, influencing what characters do and the challenges they face, ultimately leading to the story's conclusion. It's kind of like dominoes. If you set up a row of dominoes, all it can take is one initial cause of knocking down that first domino, and it can have a chain reaction knocking down every other domino that's in its path. Okay, we're going to take a look at a passage. As we read, we're going to try to identify the cause and effect relationships. Don't forget about the signal words. And remember, the cause happens first. It's why something happened. The effect is what happened as a result. And that happens after the cause. Let's take a look. Alara loved spending time in her grandmother's garden, a place where vibrant flowers bloomed in every color imaginable. One sunny afternoon, she noticed a bee struggling on a rose petal. Because the bee's wing was stuck in a sticky droplet of nectar, it couldn't fly away. Feeling a pang of sympathy, Alara carefully used a leaf to gently nudge the bee free. As a result, the bee buzzed away happily and soon found another flower to pollinate. Alara smiled, knowing her small act of kindness had a big impact. Later that week, a sudden fierce windstorm swept through the town. Due to the powerful gusts, The trellis holding up her grandmother's prized climbing roses broke. Alara was heartbroken to see the roses scattered on the ground. She knew she had to help. Since she wanted to fix the trellis, she went to the garage and found her grandfather's old tools. She spent the rest of the afternoon carefully hammering the pieces back together and tying the rose stems to the newly mended structure. Consequently, the roses were saved, and her grandmother was so grateful for Alara's hard work. Can you notice the bold-faced signal words and phrases that help you to identify a cause and effect relationship? Can you notice the causes that led to the effects happening in the passage?